This is the 196th episode of CloudFocus Weekly. I'm host Jason Atwood. Joining me for day 2 of Dreamforce Day 2, Justin Dreamforce the Man Edelstein. I don't know why I'm giving you a nickname.
Great.
I'm giving you a nickname.
I like it.
Today and today only, you're getting a nickname.
I'm going to be Justin the Man at Dreamforce forever and ever.
I'm still hunched over 2 mics, and I don't know why.
I'm trying to decide if I want to sit on this bar stool that they've supplied for us or if I want to stand. There might be an awkward pause in the middle of this conversation.
While you stand up?
Yeah.
Okay.
And move things around.
There are many, many mics next to my face, and I'm a little worried. It's a little disconcerting. But anyway, we are live here. We are live here in the admin zone doing our weekly yet daily podcast. So 3 of our podcasts in an entire day or entire week. And we're going to kind of go over some of the stuff that's happened in the last 24 hours because literally we podcast yesterday. So it's not...
It hasn't even been 24 hours yet.
It hasn't even been 24 hours. So what's happened to you in the last 24 hours?
Let's see. I had a great steak dinner.
Wow, this podcast just went to a whole nother level. You're going to talk about steak dinners.
That's why people come to Dreamforce, isn't it? For steak?
It is. It is.
All right, so I went to the Tony Robbins session yesterday.
You did. So tell me about Tony. How was it?
Inspirational. I went 2 years ago.
Can I out you and tell people what you felt about it 2 years ago?
I was about to out myself, but you
All
can do
right,
it.
go for it. I was going to say you really, really enjoyed it, and you've been following Tony ever since.
Or the opposite. I hated it 2 years ago. I did not like it one bit.
Nope.
I felt very uncomfortable.
That's because you don't like to hug.
He makes you feel uncomfortable. He gets you out of your own comfort zone. And I wasn't ready for that. I didn't know what to expect.
So for the last 2 years, you've been practicing your hugging. So you now are... Yeah, okay.
There's no practice to it. I think maybe I just knew what to expect a little bit more, and I went with somebody who is really into the whole Tony Robbins experience.
The partner that shall not be named?
Correct.
Okay.
And, I kind of just got into it with them, and to the point where we were just yelling and screaming out loud for like a minute and a half.
Wow.
Straight. And I was jumping up and down, and I did come out of my comfort zone a little bit. I will say I didn't stay for the whole thing. I was there for an hour and 45 minutes out of the 3 or so hours it was supposed to be.
3 or 4 hours?
3 or so, I guess.
Okay.
3 or so hours, 3.5 maybe. I don't know what it was really supposed to be. But I got a lot out of it, actually. The whole philanthropic piece of it really came through. Mark Benioff kicked the whole thing off. They're good friends. They've known each other for a long time. And the theme throughout was giving back and was about the Dreamforce Gives and bringing a can of food and trying to feed 1 million people. So when Tony Robbins found that out, he said, if you guys hit the goal of feeding 1 million people, I'm going to feed 1 million people personally.
He will personally feed 1 million people.
And then Mark said that he would also personally feed 1 million people. So we're trying to feed 3 million people.
All right. We have to out ourselves. We have not done the can thing yet.
We're going to.
We will. We're going to do it.
I'm going to go to 7-Eleven later.
Yes, we will.
Pick up some ramen noodles or a can of food or something.
Well, I mean, we did.
And I'll bring it over.
I was going to pack some cans in my suitcase,
ridiculous.
but I decided not to. So we had
just walk over to someone on the street. Because there's a lot of people who live on the street here in San Francisco.
Yes, there is.
You feed them and you say, Dreamforce. Like, does that count?
It might count.
Just walk over, you're like, here, Dreamforce.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So now we have 2 experiences of you doing the Tony Robbins experience. One which you didn't enjoy, and the second one which you did enjoy.
I did.
Would you watch? Should I watch it? Since I didn't get to go because I was probably working, doing something you weren't doing. But should I watch it?
What were you doing?
I was working.
Working?
Yes.
At Dreamforce?
Yes.
Blasphemy.
No, I was doing a session. I did a 2.5 hour admin session. Like teaching people how to build their first.
Are you session bragging?
I am
right
session
now?
brag.
Live?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
it's over.
Say watch it. I would say you're not going to get the full experience because a lot of it is just being in a room with a lot of people doing crazy things. But the motivational speaking part of it, the first hour to hour and 15 minutes of it, I think you will enjoy because the message is clear. He talks about engagement and being engaged with people and feeling and what you can get out of giving back to other people. And I think you personally would really enjoy that message.
You think I pick up on what he's putting down?
Yeah, I think you would. I think you would quite enjoy it. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that session? What did you do? I haven't been to a session yet, except for
I have been to a session. I've been to the session that I did. It was a build your first app, sort of, your admin 101. You barely know Salesforce. You got to sign up for a developer edition. You have to go through it. Creating your first app. Well, creating your first app, your first object, your first fields. It was but 2.5 hours of, bring your own laptop and let's go.
Did they pay you hourly?
I was going to say, it's the first 2.5 hours training session I've done in a while that was free. I almost feel like I should send a little invoice over to somebody. Like, yeah, that was.
What did you build?
We built Salesforce request object in a Salesforce request app, and it was interesting. I mean, it was.
So one object, one app, one tab. Validation rules, workflow rules, anything fun?
Yeah, no validation rule, although I did that at the end. I made that the bonus round. We did build the dashboard, a couple reports. It was very, very, very basic. I would also say...
You built the dashboard?
We built the dashboard.
There was data in the...
No, that made the dashboard very not fun. But I will say, I would love to talk to the people who made the workbook because it needed some help. It had errors in it, just flat-out errors.
Stop it.
But it was good. It was really fun just to sort of be with people who have never done Salesforce ever, because that's not the people I see. So it was fun.
Why do you have to hate on the workbook writers?
Because you can't leave errors in a formula in your workbook.
Well,
don't do that. That's bad. No, it was repeated. It was multiple typos. But anyway, it was good. I think people got a lot out of it.
People might be here listening right now.
Come on up. Let's box. Let's go. I'm down. Let's do it.
So what do we do today?
So this morning, you and I and the other partner that should not be named did the 5K challenge at 6 in the morning.
Yes,
like idiots.
Been up since early. Ran some mileage.
We ran up and down the Embarcadero.
Yes, we ran to the ballpark
with another 60 or so other Salesforce freaks.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. You won a Fitbit, so now you're in the wearables.
I now have a wearable.
You went to a run
for a year that I don't have. I've never had a wearable.
Because
don't have a
Erica
wearable.
pulled the number for you.
Because Erica, who's standing right there.
That's right.
She said it out loud. She said, "I'll pull your number out," and then she pulled my number out.
And you did. And you won. So how's your Fitbit doing now that you're in the wearable game?
You will have to ask the desk at my hotel room how my Fitbit is doing.
it's right tracking your desk activity.
The desk is monitoring the Fitbit.
So it's gonna be sending an alert saying you're dead. Like please wake up.
You don't have a pulse. What is wrong with you?
Yes,
I just don't know how to set it up. So I didn't have time to set it up.
It was so that was fun, and then we really kicked off the big thing of the day.
Who ran faster?
Who, me or you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did by far. You crushed me.
Dominated you.
You did dominate. Your domination was to be seen. I think you were about 20 seconds ahead of me.
Easy 20 seconds.
Easy 20 seconds.
Easy.
I was pacing myself.
Yep.
And then the big sort of thing of the day so far has been the Hillary Clinton keynote, fireside chat, whatever it's being called. I don't even know what to call it. Where Mark got up, did his spiel, brought up Hillary, and she did her spiel. And what do you think? We were sitting there. We watched. We were there.
We enjoyed it. I thought she was great. I thought that took the place of what I feel is traditionally the philanthropy keynote.
Right.
Which is kind of missing, I think, kind of. But that took the place of it. She was a special speaker doing that kind of talk. Again, very much in the theme of Dreamforce, very much in the theme of Salesforce, having it in the DNA to give back. She mentioned the 1-1-1 model. She was very prepared. She had all the
buzzwords.
She had it ready. She said, easy as buying a book on Amazon.
She made fun of his shoes.
Yep, she had all
it was all there.
It was good. I think what she had to say was very important. I thought that was an interesting message. I've never heard that whole what was it? Talk, read, sing.
Yes.
I don't know if it was that order, so I apologize.
I did write it down. It's in my jacket pocket.
Way to write it down and keep it in the jacket.
Yes.
While we're doing the podcast.
Well, I'm kind of, in an awkward position here.
It out of your pocket.
No.
But I think she did a great job talking about this program that they're doing here in the Bay Area and in Oakland in conjunction with some non-for-profits, the Benioff Hospital, Children's Hospital in Oakland, amongst a few others that I apologize for not remembering.
Right.
And, talking about how children's and babies' brains develop at different rates if they're talked to or sung to or read to, and how there's just such a disparity between the amount of she's books as an example, and talked about how, what was it? The number was 30,000 fewer words.
32. It's 3 million less words.
3 million?
Yes.
That many?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
3 million less words.
Kids hear 3 million between the ages of 0 and 4. They hear 3 million less words, and therefore they have that much less to go on.
If they don't have the right, if they don't have books, or if they don't have, the things that they need to, to be able to have their parents read to them or sing to them or what have you. So they started a program. They're going to be giving out CDs, books, kits from Sesame Street, and really educating people from the very start that you need to do these things with your children from the time they are born, because it's very important.
She came across. I've never seen her speak in person before. Obviously, I just haven't.
We've seen both Clintons now.
She came across as very likable, as sort of someone, she made references to her grandkid and her kids. I wish she had been a little bit more on depth on an issue. It was I just felt it was light, it was like Hillary light. I don't know.
What issue were you looking for her to go into? She talked about, her these philanthropic endeavors.
Yeah.
The Clinton Foundation. What did you want her to do?
I don't know.
Dig into Iris or something?
Iris? Are you trying to say ISIS?
ISIS? Iris.
Nice try.
Thank you. I was one letter off.
Yeah, it's all right, but I'm going to call you out on it. Or ISIL. I don't know. I was really looking for her to get just a little bit more deep into an issue that was more, more political. Is that bad to say?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, well, I'm bad.
I like when the politicians
call me bad.
Come and they keep it light and they talk about doing good things. That's
what
I like. I like when they talk about doing good and stay away from stay away from things that are gonna be polarizing for some folks in the audience. Like talk about things that everyone can unite and get behind and really have a good understanding for, as opposed to like who's gonna sit there in the audience and be like, oh, kids learning, terrible idea.
Terrible.
Why would anyone do that? That's not a good person.
Yeah, I just wish she had done a little bit more. I don't know, more current state of the world. I know it's like this mix between the is she running, is she not, and they brought that up at the end. She answered it well. It felt a little softball-y to me. It just felt a little like they kind of softballed it up to her and she just knocked it out of the park, but it didn't feel, I don't know, just didn't have a lot of meat. I left hungry. How's that? I want more Hills. I actually bought her book while listening to her. I'm like, all right, that's enough. I need to actually read her book because this isn't enough for me.
Well, then she did her job.
She did. She sold yet another copy.
She sold a copy of a book.
And I mistakenly bought her first book, and then I
bought 2 copies.
I had to buy 2 copies, one of her old book and one of her new book.
Oh, by the way, to go back, the Tony Robbins session, he was also promoting a book pretty hard.
Well, he puts out like a book a day.
This was about money.
Oh.
He talked to 50 very prominent people with a lot of money.
Okay.
People who've managed money managers, so on and so forth. Very wealthy, the wealthy of the wealthy, right? And, he was actually, it made me want to buy the book because he was selling it pretty hard.
But you don't read.
Really interesting. Well, that's absolute fact. I don't read.
I know.
But he's
and
not
now
making
these people know.
He's not making any money on the book. He's donating all the profits from the book.
Nice.
To help feed, I think he said 100 million people.
Wow.
Because that is very near and dear to his heart.
So I actually going back to the T-Rob since you brought it back up.
I did.
So the partner that shall not be named is a huge T-Rob fan.
He is.
And he, I think, has heard every single T-Rob thing ever to happen.
He does all the programs.
He has done all the tapes, the programs, the videos, the YouTubes. he would be a good judge of whether this was like T-Rob A++ or like T-Rob.
I asked him.
And
I asked him to rank it from
that's
1
why,
to 10.
That's why I asked you.
He gave it an 8.
An 8?
An 8.
And now, is that one of those where there is no 10 because 10 is perfect?
No, it's not. It's one
okay.
of those I've seen and listened and watched all of his things, and he repeats things too often.
Oh.
So he's heard many of the little stories and things that he uses to convey his point before.
Okay. Well,
I've
that's
never
fair.
seen him in person, so I think that boosted it up to an 8.
That's
because
great.
Seeing him in person gets that energy flowing in the room. He has this outward personality that just, if you're into it, it can be really energizing. If you're not into it, it can be really very embarrassing a little bit. He really puts you out of your comfort zone in a way that's it feels uncomfortable. How about that?
So what you're saying is he puts you out of your comfort zone, but it feels uncomfortable.
And that's correct. That is a product of being put out of your comfort zone.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think maybe I need to watch it with you and the partner should all be named like in a room together, and we can all hug each other
and yell at each other.
Yeah.
I own you.
Yeah.
I own you.
on a big TV screen
pointing at each other,
in a
yelling,
conference room.
I own you.
I think it'll be the exact same experience in a conference room with a TV.
So the rest of the day today,
yes,
we did this early. We did this before the Mark Benioff keynote.
Yeah, basically we have nothing to talk about because all this fun stuff is going to happen in about an hour.
All the product keynotes are tomorrow,
That's
Wednesday.
Correct.
Mark Benioff's keynote is today, Tuesday at 1:30.
1:30, yes.
Okay, 1:30 local Pacific time here.
That's correct.
And basically tomorrow we're going to come back and have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Tomorrow we will have to find a more comfortable way of doing this,
yes.
and then we
height for microphones.
We need microphone height.
Microphone height.
But yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow and go through all the stuff that came out today. That's sort of how we're doing this.
The big stuff.
And we're not doing a Thursday, is that correct?
We are not scheduled to do a Thursday.
But we might have to?
We could if we need to.
Okay. All right.
We shall see.
Don't
know when the booth is open till.
And we're going to do our picks of the week tomorrow.
Yeah, someone's going to send me one.
Oh. You just can't walk around the floor and find one like every normal person?
I was going to maybe do that, but then I was going to also let people send me. So if anyone out there wants to send me a pick for tomorrow, I'm more than happy to use it.
You know, I think if you just went on the floor and said, could someone suggest a product of Salesforce for me to plug on a podcast? I'm sure someone would suggest something.
Okay.
Maybe
I
just
might do that too.
Pick a booth to the left or right of us.
I'll just walk around with a sign.
Yep.
I need a pick for a podcast.
Maybe that might work.
No one will know what that means, though.
No, not at all. I don't even think people know what podcasts are.
I'll get one by tomorrow.
All right. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do our our last or wrap-up show tomorrow when we go through all the things. And then I'll make our picks of the week. And there'll be a lot of podcasts this week. I don't even know if people are here. Are people here listening to our podcasts while they're here? Did you download our podcast from yesterday? I'm looking at our fan. See, no, he didn't.
We have we have one fan in the audience.
Yes. Well, there you go.
Two,
three, four fans.
7. Wow.
And we don't have it. So we don't have any sheep to throw today.
We need analytics to track how many fans we have here.
Do I have to pay that price to get it?
I got a laugh on that one.
Sorry.
That was pretty good.
Live audience, baby. Live audience. It's awesome.
Love a live audience.
Don't worry.
I'm like Tony Robbins up here.
Yeah, you should jump around a little bit.
People are inspired.
Can you hug yourself a little bit more?
I own you.
Oh, stop it. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow. New podcast, third day in a row. It's Justin. It's Jason saying enjoy those cloudy days.